Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here. So today I'm going to talk about pitfalls to watch for when working from home. So there's no denying that working from home has many advantages, right? In some ways, it's the ultimate freedom. You get to set your own hours, working when, where, and how you want. But there's also a number of pitfalls that you need to be aware of and watch out for, or you're going to risk running into turning your home-based job into an unproductive nightmare. So the first one is failing to keep business and private life separate. So this is one of the most common issues for people who work from home, especially those who are self-employed. When your home office is right there, it can be so easy to just be there all the time, and it's hard to stay away from, even when you should be off work for the day. So before you know it, you'll spend another few hours of your precious weekend on work. And that's the quickest way to burn yourself out. And it's something you got to avoid if you want to be successful working from home. The next one is not planning your work. So this mostly applies to people who are self-employed and may not have a boss telling them what to do every day. Because if you have a boss, you have a set schedule probably, or you have, you're on when you're on, right? But if you're working from home and you're working on your own projects, planning is an absolute must. I mean, if the first thing you ask yourself when you start your day is, okay, what am I going to do today? Then you're setting yourself up for failure, seriously, because it's just not going to happen. I mean, it's so much better to plan out your day before you get off work the evening before, so that you're ready to go first thing when you start in the morning. So you already know what it is you're going to do today. That's the only way it's going to work. So another way, not creating a proper workspace. So it's really tempting to take your laptop to the couch and work while the TV's on, but that's not real productive either. And it's also not good for your back. So having a proper home space allows you to separate out the distractions and focus on work. It also makes it easier for you to disconnect when that work time is over, so like you don't come in there on the weekend or something, right? And if it's possible, claim a quiet room in your home as your office. And once you're done working, try not to go back into that room until you have to work again. Out of sight, out of mind, right? If you live with other people, make sure that they know that when you're in that room or you're in that space that you've set aside for work, that you're at work and you can't be distracted. And working at irregular times can be a real problem. I mean, when you're free to start to set your own hours, it doesn't mean that you should only work whenever you feel like it. Because chances are after a few months that when you feel like it is going to be rarely. You're going to rarely feel like it at all, especially when there's so many fun distractions around the house, right? So that's why it's better to try to stick to working the same hours every day. Even if it might resemble a real job too much for your liking, you can always take breaks during the day if you need to recharge, but try to at least get to your office around the same time if you want your productivity levels to stay high. Another thing that is a downfall for people that work from home, and this is going to be a struggle right now, but not getting out of the house regularly. So when you work from home, there's usually very little motivation to go outside. You've got everything you need right there in the house, right? Anyway, right? And so that's true, but after a whole week, you're most likely starting to feel isolated and lonely, and that's perfectly normal. So in normal times, it's really important to make time for the little things like grabbing lunch with a friend, or something as simple as that can really boost your energy levels and help make working easier and less lonely when you're working from home. But during these times, that might, that's not so easy, right? Right now, these days, you're not going to be able to meet up with friends for dinner after work, but you can organize a group of people to discuss a book or TV show, or just catch up over Google Hangouts. You can still have lunch with a friend, do it on a video or Zoom call. I have a good friend that just did it was a Zoom call, I guess, with a bunch of his friends, and it was pizza and wine. So each person was responsible to get their own pizza and wine, but they all got together. I think it was 6 of them got together on this Zoom call, and they had dinner together. And, it's just important to still connect with people so you don't feel so isolated during this time. Right? Lots of us are feeling anxious and uncertain right now, and suddenly being isolated at home can amplify those feelings, especially if you're not used to being at home. And so you don't even need to plan that much. I mean, as far as getting together, my daughter, she lives in a van. She's living her dream life, living in a van, traveling around, mostly around the West, the West, basically. And she lives down by the river. She meets up with her friends that also are van lifers, and they travel around. But one night we decided we wanted to spend some time together, and so we watched a movie together. She watched it on her iPad in her van I think she was in Arizona at the time, and I was home, and we were texting in real time about the movie that we were watching together. So it works, right? It might not be ideal, but it works. And we felt like we were connected. It was really cool. And, FaceTime your mom, will you? Or at least call her your mom when, she's probably freaking out, right? I mean, she's probably lonely too. I don't know. I mean, everybody's different, but if you have elderly parents, they are probably lonely because nobody can go visit them right now, especially because of this virus, the concerns of getting them sick. So when the world is freaking out, it's more important than ever that we reach out and connect and take care of one another. We're going to get through this. We really are. In the meantime, you might get really used to working from home and might decide you never want to go back to a job. You might want to just work from home, right? So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. What kinds of things are you running into now that you're working from home? And how are you dealing with those? Please get in the comments below and share with us. I would love to hear your stories. So thanks for being here with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.